Hello, my friends. Today is July the 14th, and this is a psychic reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a reading to cover the year to follow. It's approximately 5 to 10 minutes long. I do psychic readings and healing work. Check out my credits. I do a lot of internet readings. Give me a message, give me a call. I do a lot of work out of my office in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is 4 cards, as I said, a lens card to look at the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action to take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. The lens card is Thanatos, or Thanatos. I'm not exactly sure. Thanatos, I think, is probably more true. It's about the recognition of the many small deaths that we experience, on daily levels, on weekly levels, on monthly levels, on yearly levels, on life levels, the loss of our, our through time, everything has to change. The only uh, reality, the only constant is ever-changing mystery. So something's always dying to be reborn next, and there's always a loop and a cycle. And it's this is a heavy Buddhist understanding of relaxing into time, because this is what you're going through, something that humanity keeps going through and exists through and is connected to. And when you find yourself at peace with this sense of, well, this too shall die, then this too is a good day to die, and this becomes an easier path for us when we accept that life is change and life is death, and life is thereby growth and recreation and sustenance and death. And the cycle of bigness is reflected in littleness. The microcosm represents the macrocosm. As above, so below. Thanatos is that sense of, if you allow things to change, and especially find a way to be grateful and to find lessons in change, and to be grateful for change, and to be grateful for what was, and to let go of what never came, and to release and grieve what you didn't get, but be grateful for what you did get in the process of you becoming you, because this is all about you becoming you. And you will at some point release parts of yourself and abilities and thoughts and framings and understandings, and over time, maybe, or whatever, your own body has to go, but your consciousness does it. It merges into the bigger consciousness and then comes back in to form you, to dance on this earth again. And here is the cycle, the bigger cycle that Thanatos talks about. So what is your particular challenge? 10 of Wands, normally a card of celebration, normally a card of saying, I know the many things that inspire me. I know how to dance my dance and not get burnt out. I know those things that I carry, those many different foci are dwindling down, so I can focus on just what is really important to me. So that's your challenge, to figure out what is really important to you. Maybe you're carrying too much. Maybe you're trying to do too much. Maybe you're fascinated and pushing toward too much. This is an action card, Wands. Your will. What will you do? What are you doing? What are you driving toward? We change our foci, our focuses along the way, hopefully to more fulfill us along the way, and to really aim toward those things that really have meaning toward us. And we get to judge and ascertain what is the best thing for us to aim toward. But right now, I think you're feeling confused. At some point this year, you'll feel confused about what you're aiming for. Maybe you'll feel blocked to get to what you're aiming for. Maybe there's a sense of frustration, and there's an unsatisfaction to what you're aiming for. And there's, I think, the will is either, it's a question of withdrawing your energy and not participating, or over pushing your energy to find something, that need to find something of meaning in the world and in one's fire and in one's passion and in one's push to become something, to have definition, to have, a sense of self. So that is your challenge, to find your sense of self, to push too hard to find your sense of self, to not push enough to find yourself. This is all about your connection to your fire and your passion and your will. So there's almost a sense of not trusting in the right thing will come in the right time, and you'll keep doing the things that keep feeding you, and you'll keep weeding out those things that keep not feeding you, and getting rid of those things that drag down your energy or eat your energy up too fast, or make you burn your candle at both ends, or don't light your fire enough to give you a sense of passion and connection and vitality. That's all what this wands are about. That's all the vitality within you. That's all about your passion, your fire, your inner flame. And the 10 says, oh, I could be celebrating and moving into something new with ease. But that's your challenge. You can't celebrate. You don't want to move into something new with ease. You're still, I think, fixated on the things that you're carrying, and you're pushing and driving to get there, which is painful to your body and your psyche and your whole existence someday. So here's the action to take, turtle. Slow down, buddy. Man, woman, whoever you are, slow down a little. Slow down. Get on the back of the turtle. Ride the turtle for a minute. Don't move so fast. Don't work so hard. Just keep trusting that you're going to be taken care of, that you have a shell that can protect you, that you can draw yourself in if you need to, but keep moving along. Don't give up your energy, and don't, over push your energy, because that's just a drain on your system. And the remembrance of Thanatos, the remembrance that, this is just the process of life. And, you can find peace in the world if you give yourself peace in the world. You can find calm in the world if you give yourself calm in the world. You can find definition in the world if you allow yourself to define yourself as moving gently into your life on the road ahead for you, and you're going where you need to go, and you're doing what you need to do, and you're trusting where you are and what's happening. And in the biggest picture, that everything will change, and what you might have dreamed of will at some point change. So to get so attached to the dream that you lose your sense of self, and you push so hard that you crumble your sense of your body and your fire and your vitality and your passion into something that your head says, oh, that's what I want to do, but your heart and your soul are saying, you're going there, you're getting there. Take your time, feel into it. Don't let it rush you. You just keep going in trust with knowing what is the right timing of things. When is the right timing of things? How to dance, being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, the thyroid energy. It's that trust in that place between the throat and the heart, when you're acting out and creating out of your heart consciousness. Then I think, do we slow down? So I think this is what the 10 of Wands as a challenge says. What does your heart say right now? What does your heart say? How does your heart say to have compassion for yourself? How does your heart say to have joy in yourself right now? How can you remember those good things that you want to be grateful for, those big connections that you want to be grateful for, those things that give you meaning in your life? How can you, you carry a lot of them on your back. Are you using them? Are you using the tools that you wish to use? And in using tools, that makes us, I think, stop and pay more attention and work with ourselves, and not just give over to our own headspace. I think this is about a headspace that wants to push to have something happen when it's already quite probably happening. If you let yourself relax and move into it with grace and follow the sense of turtle and just keep going, keep plodding along, you'll get there. It's not the end of the journey that matters, it's the journey itself and your reflection of yourself along the way. And here is the final card: the reflection of yourself along the way. As above, so below. Thanatos, everything, everything changes, everything is connected, everything goes through its cycles, everything has a sense of rhythm and timing and right and ripeness and death and recreation. So this is all about that biggest issue of surrendering and letting go and trust and working, I think, more harmoniously with yourself toward something that really feels right and true in your heart and your soul and your being, and doesn't just feed some self-made definition of who you need to be and how you need to be and where you need to be and how you need to show yourself up as. It's kind of cracking apart some of the ego stuff, and that is a powerful and wonderful place to be, especially when Thanatos is there to say, let go of some of these definitions. Let go of some of your self definitions. Let go of some of your push. Let go of some of your anger and rush and frenzy. Let go of your apathy on some levels and trust that you can keep working toward what your heart wants to do, what your soul wants to do, what your cosmic being wants you to do, which is, connected to all of humanity, and we're all in this lesson together, and you have your particular essence to learn in this game. And so blessed be to your particular challenge and your particular route, and may it be one that leads you to peace and security. I hope.